Dear students, it is the third video for the week 7 and we are discussing the economy of Pakistan. In the video second, we expressed in detail that how the different economical experiments were made during various governments in Pakistan. Fine. And the areas like Karachi, Faisalabad, Lahore, Peshawar, and a few others, they were they were bit industrialized, but that the industry was not at the mega level. With the later phases, industrialization uh, was made. They were progressed, and different governments focused on this. Yet there were lots of challenges they faced. Now we are going to cover that what role agriculture, forestry, and fishing have in the economy. As we already been expressed, that the economy doesn't make only one thing. There are certain factors and elements that collaboratively uh, means compose or constitute the economy. Let's read. Overall, experimentally, 1/4 of Pakistan is arable land. Mean 1/4 of Pakistan's land is uh, agriculturable, although only small fractions of that are in the permanent crops, about 1%, or permanent pastures, 6%. Roughly 5% of the country is forested. Nevertheless, agriculture, forestry, and fishing still provide employment for the single largest proportion of the labor force and a livelihood for even larger segment of the population. This segment says that unfortunately the agriculture mean the land to be produced crops is quite less. 6% are permanent pastures. Pastures, where the cattle are grazed. They are the long, uh, vast areas having natural weeds and herbs. Roughly 5% of the country is forested. Yes, this is drawback. According to the international criteria, at least 25% of the country must be uh, uh, a jungle or forest. However, forestry and fishing are the very important fact uh, sectors that are protecting the people at large. Okay, see, land reform programs implemented in 1959, 1972, and 1977 began to deal with the problems of the large scale, often absentee ownership of the land and the excessive fragmentation of small holding by introducing maximum and minimum area limits. The commercialization of agriculture has also resulted in fairly large scale transfer of land, concentrating its ownership among the middle class farmers. Yes, I expressed in the very beginning that the distribution of land among the haris or muzairas or the people working on some fair, fine, the land was distributed them permanently, and accordingly a new class emerged and the economy of the people better. Fine. Similarly, this all expresses the same. The attention given to the agriculture sector in development plans have brought about some radical changes in centuries old farming techniques. The construction of the tube wells for irrigation and salinity control, the use of chemical fertilizers and scientifically selected seeds, and the gradual introduction of the farm machinery have all distributed to the notable in increase in the productivity. Yes, this means that in these phases that have been mentioned, like in 1960s or 1970s and 80s, uh, agriculture universities were developed. For example, the Agriculture University of Faisalabad, then the Arid Agriculture University Rawalpindi, and many other universities were established. Especially, Sargodha was given special attention, and the citrus plant, mean quinoa and other things, were produced. And similarly, to increase the sugar cane, uh, different better qualities of the seeds were produced, and similarly the wheat production increased. So these all the things brought betterment in the lives of the people. Another thing is animal husbandry. Mean people started uh, working on the livestock. Clear? The better breeds from abroad were taken and they were shared here with the people, and this is how the sheep and camels and buffaloes, clear, they increased, and veterinary sciences was uh, developed. Similarly, these livestock now provide a huge income to the people in the rural areas mostly. Especially, you see that on the occasion of Eid al-Adha, that sheep, goats, and camels are the well source of income for the villages. They nourish their cattle over years and sell out on this occasion. Secondly, the leather industry is surviving just because of the livestock here. Clear? Uh, then irrigation system was made better. For example, in Balochistan, Kare's system. Kares actually are the small nalas which are constructed through or by cement, and the water runs under the soil, and thus it reaches to the villages, to the farms. Fine. And this is the agriculture, fisheries, and livestock. Another thing is resources and power. Minerals. Fine. Minerals are those important elements like down the earth, like chromite, gold, coal, silver, bronze, oil, gas, and many other things. Fine. So, first time in Pakistan at the Sui in Balochistan in 1954, the natural gas was invented. Later on, many decades after, the Khord, Tut, Duliya, these areas of the uh, Punjab and some areas of KPK, the oil refineries were established. Fine. Let's read. The exploration of Pakistan's mineral wealth is far from complete, but some 2 dozen different types of exploitable minerals have been located. Iron ore deposits are mostly of poor quality. The most extensive known reserves are situated in Kalabagh region in the western Punjab. Other low-grade ore reserves have been found in Hazara, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Some reserve of the high-grade iron ore have been identified in Chitral and in Chilgazi area in northern western Balochistan, as well as in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Deposits of the copper ore equaling or surpassing the reserve of iron ore have been found, but most sites remain unexploited. There are enormous reserves of easily exploited limestone that form the basis of the cement industry, a major component of the manufacturing sector. Other minerals that are exploited, like chromite, mostly exports, barite, celestine, fine. So these are the different kind of minerals. Actually, the story of minerals in Pakistan is very different, and it is not that satisfactory as it should have been. Coal reservoirs are detected in most of the Sindh and Punjab regions do have the coal. Iron ore that is not of high quality, yet it exists with mixed form and impurities. Oil and gas, they are the very important reservoirs, and still in many areas of Balochistan these reservoirs exist, but lack of technology, which mismanagement and other reasons, Pakistanis are still not able to utilize these things and use them in their industry. Thank you very much. We will talk in the next video about the remaining portion.